Shout out to everybody here on the live, jumping on in. Thank you for being here as we get this countdown started. Bitcoin taking a bit of a dump here. 63.5 looks likely. Looks like we may be going lower. Trouble in Bitcoin paradise. Stock market taking a hit. Let's get to see what's happening here on Black Friday. My goodness. Tesla bloodbath continues. Let's raise that music up a little bit. I just gotta get it in, baby. Let's go. I can't take it anymore. They will not make me depressed because of price action. I will feel good every single day, no matter if I win or lose my trades. It does not matter. I will not be a slave to my emotions. I love this life. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you. I am Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer. You guys are the band of 99, the Lifers, man. God bless my lifers from around the world, each and every one of you. God bless all the new people watching the stream. Shout out to all the awesome people taking a shot on the Crypto Lifer trading group. Going to cryptolifer.com to find out more. Go to cryptolifer.com. Go to cryptolifer.com. Go to cryptolifer.com, baby. Every single day. Anyway, let's get into BTC. My goodness, I must have called the short too nicely. Saw the descending triangle. Saw the measured move. Even put a circle here. Kind of crazy, right? And we went exactly to the circled region. How did I know that was going to happen? I didn't. The 21 on the other side of the 200. If you just trust it, flip it upside down and make the exact same trade we make long, and you're in gains both ways, baby. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I didn't give a perfect trade. You know what I mean? It's not like because usually I do give like a stop loss at entry, but, you know, I went over the charts. I was a bit confused in the morning. I was long last night. We got a pump, moved my stop loss up. I ended up getting taken out for small losses. Kind of stunk. Then I basically had something to do this morning for a second, came back down. Once I saw the market was a little iffy, I could see something I couldn't see before. So I did the update. The update had me a little, I was kind of in between, right? But then in about, I don't know, 10, 20 minutes later, started looking at the charts again. I said, well, here, we got a top trend line that we hit. I said, we got a bottom trend line we're likely coming down to. I said, this is what we're doing. We're inside of this range. This is a descending triangle that breaks down like 90% of the time. And I said, that's your measured move, the length from here to here. It basically told me that we were likely going to go down. These got links too, so you can hit the link. It's not like you just have to look at the, you know, you can see this nice and big. It says we're likely going to dump down to 64,033. You could enter the short even right there at 64.89. Stop would be above the point of control or above the 200 moving average. You can put your stop where you want. I do put stops out there, but I kind of want people to make their own stop losses. Like, it's not really up to me to tell you where to put your stop, but you know, I can help you. But I don't want to, you know what I mean? And then when I even had a zoomed in version in case, you know, I want people want to see what I'm saying. I'm saying this thing's going down. It's a descending triangle to the downside. Bring that music down a bit. And so let's take a look at exactly what happened to Bitcoin. I mean, it's kind of crazy, right? When you think about it, like you look at here, there's your before, and there's your after. We try to make it the exact same size. If I made it, let me see. I can do this fun game here. Yeah, look, that should do it. There's your before. There's your after, like, you know. And we hit the sauce, man. Bing. So this is given to the group at 8:50. Here's where we are now at 10:15. Well, and this is why trading groups are awesome, man. If you're not sure what's happening, you can get a kind of big picture view on what's going on. And it looks like there's just trouble in the Strait of Hormuz, trouble around the world. Israel decimated Lebanon with some type of massive... I mean, this is getting crazy, folks. And I think there's just civil unrest again. People don't know what's going on. The Fed is back and forth. It looks like there's no rate cuts till 2030. You know what I mean? Something good about there is the Clarity Act looks like it may be getting passed. There's just a little more of an edge there. 60-40 chance now. And it's looking like it could happen. So what's going to happen today? Why are we dumping so hard? What's happening with Bitcoin? Well, you know, the S&P and the NASDAQ. Look at that beat. They did eventually pump beat to 380 and ripped it back down. But they sent that bumpy, man. They sent it. I was sniffing this thing, man. I knew they were going to send it. Anyway, let's take a look at the S&P. The NASDAQ didn't look as good as the S&P. Well, let's take a look at the S&P. Remember, I did have a long that got stopped out about 4 days ago that I was in for 5 days, which wasn't fun, but it is what it is. So now we take a look at BTC. And you know, honestly, I still feel like this is the liquidity grab. It's still a higher low. You know, I think people are kind of freaking out for no reason. I feel like we're going to get a bounce here. I should feel, right? But charts are conveying to me we'll get some type of bounce eventually. We haven't taken out the low. We take out the low, you come up for the bear, then we short the retest. But if we don't take out this low, to me, these are just macro moves that I think have the world a little antsy. I think we need to calm down and relax. And it's giving us an ability to buy Bitcoin at some pretty good prices for DCA purposes. So we need to focus on the good and just keep focusing on the opportunity. The opportunity right now is big opportunity. Big business and big institutions are buying Bitcoin heavily. They are. It's on chain. The data's there. 267,000 Bitcoin. More Bitcoin than they bought in 2013 or something crazy. So we know that the on-chain data provides the information that the big boys are buying more Bitcoin. The day-to-day sentiment is in. I'm telling you right now, I've learned this before as a day trader, swing trader, and a long-term investor. I have been through so much in my life. And what I'll tell you right now, I've traded day in and day out. I've done this channel for 5 years. So I've been through 5 summers on this show. Think about it. This will be my 2021, but I probably even did 2020. So this is like my 6th summer. Because I started the show in 2019. So I didn't do that, but this is my 6th summer with the show, and I traded summers before that. So this is like my 15th summer, really, where like I was in the market paying attention, had some money either in the stock, and summers are just really brutal, man. I was surprised last year that summer was as amazing as it was. Summers can be very, very tough. And you ask why? Well, it's just because there's less people in the market. There's less liquidity. People with big money can move the market their way, have their way with you. It can be frustrating. And I've learned that frustration can get to you, and people can lose more money in the summer than they can when the time is good to trade. So I always tell people to relax. And then they say, but then you made 10 grand, a couple weeks back. And we made that big trade for 4,000. I get it. It's okay. The point is there's money to be made. We just be patient. If we get it, we get it. It's more like I'm more aggressive when the time's really hot. Like I want it. Now I'm just like, you know what? I'll get in. I move my stop loss to break even way quicker. Like to me now, I make trades and I just want to see if it can happen. And if it doesn't go my way, I'm out pretty quick. If it goes my way, I look for a move, Wow, pretty deep away from the 200 on the 1 hour, on the 1 minute. We don't get that much deeper on these dumps. That's a pretty powerful dump. When we watch dumps every day, and when you get that far from the 200 on the 1 minute, that's a pretty powerful dump, folks. And look at price action. It's just a mat. You can see the order book, the looseness of it. That's why we're getting like shapes we're not used to. Because we're in the summer. We're not. If you had more participants in the market, they would box each other in. We'd have tighter patterns. Think about it. Tighter patterns are created by good liquidity. That's why pattern trading works, because the pattern wouldn't be there if the people weren't around to make it happen. See, people that tell you pattern trading doesn't work just don't understand the thesis behind patterns. Patterns are the behavioral movements that create the pattern. And then you realize that everything a human being does can be tracked. Everything we do can be tracked. Right? Dang, man, they're dumping this puppy hard. It's looking nasty. We're going to do our top-down analysis now and like kind of see where we stand, but this isn't looking good. It's looking like a beatdown here for BTC. Man, a crazy beatdown. See, it could be a wick out. Usually the deep red is where you start to buy. So there's got to be a bounce, you think, eventually here today. Let's do our top-down analysis, see how this is affecting everything. I do want to live trade this. There's going to be volatility. There's got to be a bounce at one point or a continuation. I'm sure we can find it. Right now, to me, I see shoulder, head, and kind of what I see as a drunken head and shoulder. That's hard to see, 30-second. But I see this as a shoulder, a head, and like a little right shoulder. I see this as the neckline and the measured move, and I see this going low. It's just kind of how I look at it. I could be wrong, but... And then maybe is it just doing one of these? And again, now it's got to get back above the 5-second 200 moving average. It does that, then I'll take it somewhat seriously. Then it gets above the 30-second, then the 1 minute, and I play my game. It's like I know this. I've been through this. I go through this every single day. Look, bear flag on the 3-minute time frame. It was the 21 on the other side of the 200. Bang. I didn't take the trade because by the time I came to see, what was happening, we were kind of dumping down here, and it was a Friday with low volume, and I felt like I was emotionally jumping in. It did say it was going to go lower, though, You know, my brain just wasn't perfect this morning. I woke up a little foggy. I had to get some, you know what it is? I honestly, I guess, I don't know if this story is worth telling, but last night I took my Rolex off and I put it on a tree next to the jacuzzi. This morning I woke up at like 5 a.m. and I was like, damn, man, I think my Rolex is on the tree. I should get it because we have like a lot of people that come and go. And I'm sure, you know what, we have cameras and you know what, people are pretty decent here. Good chance no one would touch it. You know, like workers, landscape people, whatever. But I was like, man, I should get up and go get it. So I went up and go got it early in the morning, like 5:30 or something. You know what I mean? Right as the day came in. Just a funny morning, you know what I mean? Well, it doesn't mean anything. It's just like, I put it on and went back to bed for like a couple hours. Woke up at 7:30 like, dang. And the market looked a little weird. And then by the time I woke up, I was just like, I don't know what it was. Something about when I go back to sleep after sleeping, my mind's always a little foggy. Yeah, this just looks bearish so far. We got to get some type of balance. There's some bull div here. It's pretty weak, though. Could make a shoulder, head, right shoulder. But wow, look at that. I mean, it did what it was supposed to do. And this kind of was a head and shoulder. I can't believe once you lose the 200 moving average, you close below that thing. Gone. Like, look how fast you dump. So crazy. You know, we're either attempting to double bottom or we're going to break this low, which then could produce a lower high. And we had this nice uptrend we built too ever since June 30th. Look at that. I mean, the month of July has been nice. We've actually pumped the month of July all the way from the low at 58,000. It's been pretty sweet up until about the 21st. Yeah. We topped out there. Remember we sold that top 66.8, and that so far that's been the last big trade I've been in. We've had a couple scalps here and there. I attempted this bottom twice. It's pumped up, come back, pumped up, come back, pumped up, come back. We were in the money last night if you did take the entry. We were stop loss to break even. And then this morning I was able to kind of conjure up the idea that it wasn't worth being in the long, and I put out a short, right? So no end in sight for the short, just like massive red candles here on the 1 hour time frame. But I've taught all my students, you know what to do. You know what time frames to use. You know where to go. Kind of look shoulder, head, right shoulder there. Wow, that's a dump though, huh? And there you're going to see like massive long liquidations obliterated out of the market in, you know, a very short amount of time. It's amazing, man. Right? So now when I look at this, I'm like, okay, you lost this trend line. That's no go. That's not a good, that's no. That's a trend, clearly, right? You see it, like, gotta hold the trend. Only thing is the 4 hour still above the 200 moving average. Remember, my last big trade was right here. This is the last time I had heavy conviction. We went very long here. Could have went very short. I don't short as hard as I long. It just kind of, that's just me. You'll get to know that about me. I short and long, but I will definitely long more than I short over time. I just got a more bullish bias. I realize I got a short. You get forced to short once you trade as much as I do over time. You'll realize that, you know, some days you just flip your model upside down and you'll see the probabilities are there. Like today, there was pretty good probability to make that money. I didn't pivot fast enough. It was my mind today. Sometimes it's, you know, you have the strategy, you have everything, you don't make the move. It's okay. I don't beat myself up about it. I say, dude, it's the summer. I've been trading every single day this year. Give yourself a bit of a break, Sammy. Wow, look at this, though. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. The dump comes down. We make shoulder, head, right shoulder. This dump comes down. Small climb up. We try to break the previous high. You can see how big this high is. You got to break it. We get just above it. We make up almost like a double top. And look, we got bear div on the daily indicator as the stochastics RSI are coming back down. I mean, that's... And, like, it's got... as creepy as this is, but it has, like, this complex head and shoulder vibe, too. Like, You know, I always like to show myself what I don't want to see, right? So, man. And, you know, I had conviction in that weekly long, which I'm still in, but it's up $95 now. And I moved my stop loss to break even because I'm like, hey, if they tap me out and we see any signs of strength and a bit of a bounce, I'll get back in with the same, you know, around the same parameters. But this account's been nice. I've grown it from like, you know, I don't know, around 20 grand to about 45,000. And I've put about, it has what in total? It has about 55,000. I have put about 7 grand, but I started with like 25. So 25 turned into about 45. And I've since put 7 grand or 47. I put like 7 grand into it on top of that. So 7 grand of my money I've put in, but this account has just slowly grown. I've been like really, really, really patient with it. And I just want to like, you know, eventually move it to $250,000 just very quietly. I've been super, super patient with it, taking big trades like once or twice a month when I see something I like. That's what I like. I like having 3 or 4 accounts, and like some of them I just work on really slow. Some of them I trade every day. Weeks is my day trader. I trade it every single day. I got to have something I trade every day that I get into that I'm like comfortable with. Once I got that, I could work on anything, you know. And I like to have my scalps going while I have a long-term trade open. But dang, man, it's the summer. It's tough trading. I always tell myself, make it through the summer with your capital. Don't overtrade. Don't overextend, and make sure that when the horn bends and we get around the end, it's time for some, you know, you got capital. A lot of people will get chewed up all summer. They'll have no money. All right, so big picture. People are getting really emotional. We need to step away and just take a look at the big picture. Starting to make a wick down. If this wick's strong, in the next 6 days, it turns into a nasty hammer, a bearish hammer, which means it has way more wick to the downside than from the upside, and it looks bearish, we're going to be in trouble. It's not going to be a great sign. I'm not going to love that. All right. So that's one thing we got to look out for right off the bat, is how this candle closes on the monthly. So far, it's good. If it closes is like this right now, it would still be a healthy close for me. And it still tells me that there's this falling wedge intact. Could it be a shoulder, a head, a right shoulder? Could some black swan happen? Do we dump to the 200 moving average on the monthly? I mean, it's never happened for Bitcoin. Do we go to 20? But it could. 20,005 would be somewhat of the target, right? And wow, look, we flipped red now on the 2-week chart, which we still got 9 days. It's not the worst thing in the world. We could just be making a nice little nice little wick, but we started high and have a nasty wick down now. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. It shows you that we could be in some trouble here for Bitcoin. The narrative was strong that the bull div here is going to play out. And you know what? Sometimes bullish divergence just takes its time. It looks sketchy. It's an indicator that really you have to truly believe in, because there's times where it just doesn't look like it's going to play out, and it'll get to you. It will get to you. You have to blindly believe in it, put the stops below bigger lows, and just walk away. Like, that's how a boss plays it. Anything else, you're going to stare at the chart too much, and you may not make it through. When you trade divergences, you have to just kind of lock in and get it done. There can be no second guessing. You know, this is coming back down here off the resistance. You can see right here, like we had to get back above 66,000, 65.9. I mean, right here where we double bottom right there. So big that we got back above that. We wicked into it. We grabbed some of that liquidity. People felt like it was worth selling. Same thing here on the 5-day chart. Massive resistance at 65.8. 3-day chart, same thing. 3-day chart looking bearish. But you know what? As bearish as it looks, it opened last night, right? With not much of a wick. You know, maybe it's just making that downward wick. It's just juicing us up. But I don't mean that looks. And look, shoulder, head. Maybe we're just making a right shoulder here. No big deal. We're going to still break out of this. You'd really look for this support to hold now on the 3-day chart. 63.7 is a big deal. You know, maybe we could wick to 63.5, but you don't want to close a 3-day candle below 63.7. You see? We're coming right forward. If we do go lower, we're going to go to 62,250. Let's look at our daily. Those levels are basically pretty consistent on the daily as well. Here we have a level that we're about to pop through. Resistance, resistance, bounce. Used it as support, like resistance, 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 bounce. Like, should get a bounce there. You've hit it so many times. Woulda, shoulda, coulda doesn't do a dang thing in them trading days. I gotta say, I mean, that trend line's breaking. And I was looking for this to bounce and get tight. I even said this morning, though, I said, even if we bounce and get tight, we could still dump. And come down here for a double bottom and come somewhere down to 58,000. I said, that's not off the chart, right? That's, get it? That's not, off the limits there. This is sketchy. We need to wick back up inside. We need some bullish caveat here to bounce us back in. Trump's got to tweet something amazing, some clarity act business. Something's got to flip the switch here. The narrative isn't great. Crypto's born. People are stressed. Tight moving averages, the pump up. You're supposed to continue to that 200 moving average. This move is big. These moves are weird. We get halfway through these big gaps in the VRVP. We don't continue to the next move of liquidity. We just get kind of immediately reversed. I tell you, if there's any evil beings in the earth that control us, they wouldn't want Bitcoin. I mean, if they can't control the Bitcoin, they don't want anything that they can't fully grasp and hold on to. You can look and peer into, fine. You can see it, but it doesn't mean you can control it. Right? Nasty move in the 4-hour time frame. I mean, just a hard rejection right here. Like it's kind of there's the shoulder, head, right shoulder. How did I see what was going to happen? The 1 hour time frame was in that awkward descending triangle, right? Like, why would I put my, people pay for this $99 a month, right? Less than that, less than $3 a day if you get into like the monthly or whatever. But if you go to cryptolifer.com and you pay for my Discord, hit subscribe, right? Then this morning you would have got an update exactly right before this happened. And you would have been like, here's what I now see, here's what I see now. Possible move to 64K, right? Anything is possible, so you got to, but like, strong odds that descending triangle is going to take us down. All right. Strong odds. And then the bigger idea is that we're in that broadening falling wedge coming down, So this is what I saw. 7-minute time frame revealed the edge. So see, the 7-minute was like, bang. Bang. A little bit of a bounce now. Okay. Finally, something brewing here. Let's get back into that 1 minute. Can we? And I used to go at these bottoms, I think, a little too aggressively. And I would get chewed up below the 200. Now I just patiently wait. Sometimes it might be 5 o'clock till we get back above that 200. It might be 10 o'clock. Who knows? You can hit shift to actually go sideways and see, realistically how price action works, right? What if you can flip it like Alice in Wonderland? Watch this. What if you can grab this section, but then flip it like a mirrored way? Oh, you can't. They won't let you go over there. You can't round it. You can't spin it. You could do this. Oh, no, but I can go upside down with it, which is the same. Yeah. Aha. So, I'm just seeing how long this would take, right? So, realistically, 11 o'clock till we get to the 200 moving average if we get a chance to reverse. This could be, it's funny. This would be interesting if we take the mirrored path of action. Be an inverted, complex inverted, then you'd make a flag, Fun times ahead, man. But being creative with price action, being creative with TA, that's always, I find this is a creative, expressive movement too here. Not only is it like a technical math kind of finance thing, but playing with the chart is fun for me. It's always kind of give me some freedom artistically. Yeah, I used to make tracks a lot. I used to always make some type of art every couple of weeks. I was producing something, whether it was music or I was editing or some form of visual medium. So, and now here I am making a show every single day. Creative. I'm still doing the creative artist thing I always did. Never left that artistry. You see what I'm saying? Never left the artistry. Just kind of changed the way I changed the information in the package. The packaging. So interesting. And that's all by God's will. I never sat down and was like, okay, I'm going to start this amazing crypto YouTube channel. Then I'm going to live stream every day. I'm going to talk with this announcer voice, and I'm going to have this awesome stream. And I never wrote any of that down. I never planned any of the things. You know, they always said you have to write down a plan and have a plan. I agree with that, or just be relentless. Like, either write down a plan or just be so insanely relentless that it's going to happen no matter whether you write a plan down or not. There's someone out there that wrote all their plans down but didn't work as hard as me, and they're not, and it doesn't matter how many, and they have better plans. They're more organized maybe in their thoughts. They may be way smarter than me. They may be actually someone that could go further if they got in my position. But they just don't have the ability to be consistent and to do it every day, right? You know what I mean? I started learning that talent didn't matter. Hard work beats talent if talent don't work hard, and it's an old story. Just get up and go. Should be a license, it should be a bumper sticker, but just get up and go, man. Just get up and go. You want to be a trader? Start trading today. Get a demo account on Weeks and make it happen. Like, stop saying you're going to do something and not doing it. Like, it's not, you know what I mean? You desire to trade today, go to Weeks.com, hit my link, begin a demo trade. It's free. It costs you no money. You can open up a trade and it costs you no money. See what I'm saying? That's how you start. Next thing you know, you can actually take the trade with me. See what happens. You blow your first demo account, you're like, damn, if that was real money, I would have lost 50K. Okay. What did I do wrong? What was I thinking? Was it a hard market? Were you just over trading in an extremely tough market? Because that's 100% possible. What was the environment like when you started trading? Did you even know? Maybe not. Maybe get a mentor that understands all the different environments that have happened throughout the last 10 to 15 years so they can give you a really good probability of what environment you're in. Might be a good idea. It's not about the calls. Everyone's always like, how are your calls? You know what I mean? It's kind of like this, a football coach. And he's been in football, and let's just say he's 60%. Like, he's won 60% of the games. But he won 3 Super Bowls. Like, he's done some big stuff, like 100x my Bitcoin, 100, you know what I mean? So, like, you've done big things. My point is, people say, what's his win rate? Maybe he's 60%, maybe he's 70. Maybe it's amazing. And that's actually pretty good if you're a football coach. My whole point is sitting down with that guy and asking him, like, how to win the game might be great. I mean, he won 3 Super Bowls. You get information from the people that have done it and that live it every single day. They breathe it. Like the demand zone, coming back in here with the cup and handle. I mean, this is it, right? Boom. This should explode all the way back up to 64,141. It's the beautiful cup day handle. The tour day handle. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. And a lot of people are just staring at red candles right now on the 1 hour time frame, befuddled. We're going to make this real. We're going to break this down. Let's see what's happening. BTC, USD, T. Okay, buy. We're going to look here. Buy the buy. Buy the buy. What is buy the buy? People say that down south. We don't really say that up in the Northeast, But I hear people say buy the buy. I'm not talking like buy the buy. They're saying buy the buy, I don't know. Kind of looks sketchy too to me. This is feels like this is definitely a fast liquidity grab. Too many people must have went too hard, too long, too fast, creating such a belly of liquidity. Let's take a look. The Bookmap told us that Big Red was coming. It said it. If you're another reason to be in a trading group, I have tips and tricks and things that can show you what's happening. Bookmap says lower, right? Last night it says we're going down. We're going to go take 64.5 and then, from there probably down to 64,000. It even had some liquidity down at 62. But whatever the dark red area is, that's where we're likely going. And Bookmap said it, right? There it is again, telling us it wants to go lower. So we had, if you're in my trading group, you can't be like, oh my God, I had no idea it was going to dump. Even last night I looked at it, I was like, eh. Still was leaning for the long. See, I was leaning for this long breakout back to the upside. We got it. And then we came back to, it was just, and I wiggled up like sideways. Then I reassessed the market again because I give you guys an update every night and every morning. Like 99% of them, might be 1% of the time I miss it. You know what I mean? So. Seeing if we can go further down here to this key area. What? 63.5 now looks likely. Not looking amazing for BTC. Tough times for the bulls, man. But, an opportunity. These mainly, in times of distress, this will mainly break down. We'll see, though. We do have that cup and handle. There is a chance. But I don't play down here. If I do play down here, I use the 1 hour, even then, like I did that 2 days ago, it didn't play out either, so. Beautiful short, though, if you took the rejection of the 21, the rejection of the 200 and some, I think it was the 45. Look at that. And then the 7-minute descending triangle that I was able to see right here. Even the bear flag right here, just below the 200 on the 21. The sauce that I teach says it's going to dump, right? Now, just like a surfer teacher who could teach you how to surf but doesn't surf every single great wave that he sees, same way as me. I can teach you how to surf. It doesn't teach you how to trade. Doesn't mean I hit every single trade or I take every trade. It was a nice one. As I said before, some of the biggest dumps, 5 o'clock that day, I see my model and I make $1,000 in 10 minutes. So we'll see. I've done it many times. I've done it this summer. I'm surprised myself. I'll watch a big dump. Like, there's no way I'm longing later on today. Like, my mind doesn't say it's not going to happen, but I'm just like, it's not definitely on my radar. I think, hey, maybe it's possible. But I'm like, Next thing you know, I come back to the computer at 6, 7 o'clock at night, and I see exactly what I'm looking at. I'm like, dang, man, this is crazy. Like, it's exactly what I projected. Let's take a move. And bang. Wow, look at this. Like, look at that. I mean, that's consolidation. They're keeping price action in this tight little spot between 63.8 and 63.780. It's like 63.870. It's in the $100 little tight move here. And yes, I'm using the 1 second just for some type of clarity here. Wish there was like a 2.5 second. I want to get every little measurement they have for Bitcoin. Ooh, that doesn't look nice. Oof. When you're this far for the 200, it's like, it's almost like there's no more real gas for the bears. It's almost like that's it. Very similar to get a massive pump, and we're pretty good at calling when the end is. I mean, when you pump this hard, you get a bear div, you're away for the 200, the 21. I guess one more dump is coming, though. Look at that thing. They are sweeping these lows. Bookmap says 63,000. 63.5. I mean, they want it. They want it bad. Oh, little bounce here. Can we double bottom? Bitcoin fighting for its life here. 63,730. Woof. DJ 730. Always reminds me. Okay, a little bit of a bounce there. Some love. But dang. And, you got this kind of Adam and Eve if you could round it off, but wow. Look at that. Right off that low on the... Some good volatility, but dang. Speaking of good volatility, remember someone talked about JIMOTHY? It actually didn't do too bad. It went up to this is like this deformed raccoon that like people are watching run around. There's just so much funny stuff going on out here, man. JIMOTHY. It's just crazy, right? I have no idea what that is. I'm not, I'm just kind of looking around, just poking my head around over here. Funny, my buddy, that guy, with this guy I see online a lot, Jason A. Williams, he made the Bitcoin Bull. Like, this thing, I have no idea. I'm not in it, but like, dang, like, I saw it and like, I didn't take it fully seriously. Like, I saw him online. He did a bunch of spaces. And I never, I just didn't get the contract, but look, I mean, had you just done the TA like I normally do, like, boom, there's a flag, then it flags out again, then it makes an inverted head and shoulder there, it's just kind of been doing its thing. Looks like it may continue somewhere up to, and I don't own any of this, and I don't even condone it. I just, I have to do TA on this stuff because I find it fun. Pegged, like, this is crazy, right? Page not found. It's so funny. What happened there? Hold on. Okay. And then the number one coin that I'm seeing a lot that I just got to cover because I'm seeing it a lot. And we talked about it at about a $460,000 market cap. Finally got a bit of a pullback. Broke the parabola it was kind of running on there. So it's running a hot parabola. Bitcoin at 63,730, still kind of right there, 710. Looks like it is going to struggle a little lower, man. People losing faith and risk on assets. They're sending their money into other places. That yield is drawing money away from risk assets. That's really what it comes down to, folks. It comes down to the yield spike in there, and you get that free, easy money. Then you just park it there for a bit until the yield changes, and then you go back into risk on. It's just what happens. And what it does is it gives them the free, safe money while they know they can kind of strong harm the rest of the market, because when they take that liquidity out, they know that the market is in need of the liquidity, right? So if you're looking for this to continue, like you're an if fan, looking for something like that. Now, could it continue to dump and turn to zero? This could be it. I mean, you never know. This could be the end. Bitcoin takes a massive dump here. That's what people don't realize. Everyone thinks there's a narrative. They get excited. And that's the thing, there is. Let me explain how hard this is. The narrative shows up. Bang. Bitcoin shows a few higher lows. Like it's been pumping since the beginning of July, right? So all of a sudden people think, oh my God, they get overly bullish. The bottom's in. Oh, the bottom's in for sure. Then all these memes are going to pump. People get excited. And then they start getting in. And then, 1 million, 2 million. Oh my gosh, this is what happened the last time. And then Bitcoin hits a resistance. Takes a nasty black swan move down, and the meme never goes higher than, you know what I mean? And the thing is, I'm not saying the people that hardcore speculate, that's what they're going to do. Like the next time it happens again, and then one time it's going to be real. And Bitcoin is going to continue. They're going to get the bounce, and it's going to play out. You see what I'm saying? But you get in those people. So that's why if you're a crazy memer that takes a shot every time, then I hope the people, I pray, actually, or I hope those people get rewarded over time, Look at that. Nice little double bottom there. We held really strong. Came back to test it one more time. Ferocious pump right off the bottom. It would have been a daring buy right there off the double bottom, but it was a double bottom. Isn't that crazy? 68% of the time, the patterns tell you that a double bottom will break out and hit the measured move, which is the neckline to the leg, and then swing it to the middle here, and boom, it goes to 63,955, right? Bang. It's crazy. Pretty close to where we want to be. I'm not saying this is amazing, but at least we got some type of bullish behavior there that kind of slowed the pain for now. We were just getting lower lows, lower highs. That's the first time, look, we broke through this resistance and made a higher high. And you could say that one was really one, but and then it just gave it up. Really far from the 21-day moving average. Flip it upside down. Like, what would I do here if we were bullish? I'd say maybe it just has to interact with the 21, and this might just continue, right? It's looking like it has some legs. But it has to consolidate a little bit, right? Could it crash right back down? Possible, but it looks strong with the way the 21's curving up to it and it has some space. I'm upside down, so it's just giving me a little bit of more, like, because this is what I'm more used to over time. Interesting. Looks like it may continue to go lower, folks. 62,691. We got 63.6 on the board here for Bookmap. If you look at the biggest global liquidity right now, it's right there at 63.5 and lower. So right now, there's no reason to believe that we're going to absolutely reverse out of nowhere and make a monster move up. Nice double bottom. It's great. Let's see if it moves. One thing. Oh, yeah. This one I want to see is... let's take a look at the 1 hour. Okay, we got a wick. It's 10:52. This candle will close, and then we know, like, at 12 o'clock again, we want to see if the 1 hour candle will close next to... You get a green candle next to a red one on the 1 hour, you could possibly get a chance of a reversal here. So again, let's take a look at the big picture idea here for Bitcoin. Basically a bear flag. Some could say, hey, it's still technically in trend, I guess, if this is the trend there now. We lost one, we made a new one. We could still wake up and hold this position. It could just be one of those, you know, but then look, I even see like the bigger idea could just, you know, and this is what's, you know, I expect chop throughout the summer. I was actually surprised we got as much beautiful price action as we did the last 3 weeks. And that's why I said, hey, be faithful. I said, I expect chop, but then we got some nice pumps, which we're able to take advantage of. Resistance here now at what, 66,700? Tight moving averages, bounces off the trend line. Rejection right there. Was it the 8 hour? Yeah, 8 hour rejected the 200 moving average strong. And ascending triangles, like as cool as they are, like they're 50%. Like you can get a nasty dump right down here. I don't know. It took a lot for that for that to happen. It took a lot for us to get the pump. So you got to remember, like, we get a move, then we consolidate. 15-minute is attempting a bounce. Some people are going to ape this. They're going to say, you know what, I'm long, and they're going to try to catch a falling knife here. You are far for the 21. There's a good chance you could get back to it or consolidate. Same with the 5. We take a look at the 1. I mean, the 1 minute's got to do the thing where it gets tight moving averages, and it's got to hold some levels. It's got to pump back to the 200 moving average. First level you have to consider a break above is 64,160 on the 1 minute time frame. You do that, then there's a chance. Sam, you said Bookmap shows lower. It does, but you know, I work through the TA the way the TA shows me what to do. We just do the TA. We do the do, man. Every single day. People don't get it. They want a perfect answer. They want me to be a magician. They want me to say, this is it. They don't realize that I'm giving you it. It is working every day at the charts. If I don't work at these charts, look at this. Say I work at these charts real hard. I have a really good month. I'm very accurate. I make 10, 20, maybe 30 grand that month. Whatever it is. Who cares, you know? But let's just say I make a certain amount of money. Bang. Does that pay for the next month? No. You know, do those skills... The skills come through, the things that I did, the belief system in which I used. Like if I had a TA and I really liked it and I said, this is how I want to play it. This is my plan and the plan works out. And that's going to strengthen me for sure. That's great. But the point of the story is the next week I got to take a new set of risks, a new set of trades. And last week's money doesn't pay me. So trading isn't, you know, the saddest thing about trading is no matter how good you were last week, it doesn't mean you're going to be good next week. And so the only thing that you could do as a human and control is consistency. That's all you can control. Do the same things every day. Trade around the same areas, around the same days. Find pockets of liquidity that you like. Some people like Asia and London. I don't like them because I go to bed at, you know, between 10 and 12. I do, but someone said, I like to trade them. I like to open my trades with their liquidity. Look, this is a flag that should, it's looking okay. Look, it's the model. How crazy is it? It's the flag with the 21 above the 200. What I learned is the model plays out on the smallest time frames, like the 1 second. And we could have got in here. The 1 second is fun to trade, right? Can we trade the one that they have? Oh yeah, they have the 1 second on, I believe on Pionex. Live trading. Funny. I'll stick to the 1 minute today. Nice pump up there to the upside for the 1 minuto, right? So look, the double bottom played out. That was the target of the double bottom. So amazing how every single day here a pattern does almost, I can't say every single, because I don't, if I backtrack, but I'm almost pretty sure almost every single day some simple way of trading plays out here. Now, dang, I did identify that. That would have been a nice bottom to play. It's just not part of my trading style, but dang, what a nice pump. 63.7 back to 63.9, a little $200. Again, I would have been at heavy risk, a $63,000 trade to make $200. Just to make $200, I would have had $63,000 position. That's $2,000 at 30x leverage. You see what I'm saying? Like, people don't realize how risky. They think it's easier than it is because traders don't explain risk. They just kind of trade in front of you. And you fill in the blanks of what's going on. But no one sits down and says, no, look at the math. To do this, he would have been liquidated for 30 grand, $100, you know what I mean? To make some serious money, like, like when you see a big trade, a lot of those traders, like, they'll be in a trade, they'll $1 million trade, $7 million trades. I'll freeze the screen and I'll analyze the trade with like a calculator, right? And I'll be like, and they'll be putting in, they got money to burn because like they'll be putting in 20, 30 grand, maybe 150 grand in margin, 200 grand in margin, 10x leverage, $2.5 million trade. But like if it hits a certain area, they lose 30 grand real easily, 50 grand real fast. They're obviously okay with that. You never know. They might have done another investment that they're up $1 million on, and then they just say, hey, if I lose 50 grand today, I'm all right. I'm balanced. Like, I'm not there yet. It would be awesome that I could, like, I could lose, I guess I could lose 5, maybe even 10, maybe even 20 grand in a day, and I'd be okay with it. Like, I wouldn't be, like, demolished by it, but I wouldn't be, like, I wouldn't be happy about it. I'm not at a level where I'm willing to risk massive amounts, like, and maybe that's just not me. I don't know. When once you 100x Bitcoin conservatively buying DCA over time, it's kind of hard to convince yourself to be any riskier. You see what I mean? It's like, but I already did what all these people that do risky trades want to do. I made the millions. I defeated the and everyone gets discouraged. Someone said, I feel like they're always going after me. I read the comments earlier today. I'm never going to win. I feel like the second we buy, I feel like they're against us. And yes, they are. 100%. There definitely is a force that doesn't want the small guy to win. That's a fact. But you know what? I won. And so if I won and I didn't do some Illuminati ritual, I didn't go join the Freemasons. I'm telling you honestly, man, I didn't join the Freemasons. Look at my channel, man. I barely, you know what I mean? They didn't throw me in with the big ones. I don't get, I tweet every single day. Keywords, I know what I'm talking about. Sometimes we say one thing and it gets a pretty big following, and I work so hard to get like very little movement. It's crazy. On X, anywhere. But it's, so I'm not in with the big boys, obviously. They didn't choose me. They didn't pump me. But what I will tell you is, if I can get there, you can get there. Don't let these folklore tales of the world's against you discourage you from realizing your true power. It doesn't matter who's against you. It doesn't matter how much power with God as my side. And God is my witness, man. I'm telling you right now. And with you here right now, believe in yourself, push yourself, and read about people, man, that didn't have an entourage, that didn't have insider information, that weren't the way, you know what I mean? Bruce Lee, man, look at Bruce Lee. Dude did everything from within. He was so amazing that he had to be on TV. People wanted to see what he could do. On camera, he could, like, break a board with a finger. Like, the guy was unreal. He harnessed energy. He said he did it. The point is, if you have something that no one can take away from you, That's exactly what you have. Something that nobody can take away from you. A trading skill that you worked at for years. Nobody could take, like my trading skills, what I know about the markets. Nobody can take that away from me, no matter how much they manipulate, no matter how much they're quote unquote against me, no matter what's happening. No one can take your skills away from you. Fine-tuning your skills is what you should focus on, not on the, the fact that there's this boogeyman out there that you can't control. Another thing, control what you can control. I always go back to the forest, making a cabin in the forest. Whenever you're discouraged, ask yourself, your career, your life, your goals. Just you as a person, like I'm a man. As a man, for me, personally, maybe, whatever societal ideals, but as a man, for me, it was, to get married to a woman that I found very beautiful and loving and caring, and to have a family, right, with my wife and have little kids, right? Sorry, really quick stick figure family. But you know what I'm saying? This is my dream. This is my goal, and to provide for them at a high level. And to be in the top, 1% of earners in the world, and to grind. That's my dream, man. And to be able to give back every day because I produce so much that I can help others on a mass scale. Dream, right? So bang, have a dream, have a goal, go after it. Make it happen. What's your, everyone has an oasis. This is my oasis. If I can spend a lot of time with my kids, I am an emotional guy. I'm honestly, I have a big heart. My heart's so big when I spend time away from my children. I yearn for them. I miss them, man. I know that the space is so small. My oldest daughter is 11. She turns 12 in just a couple months. And they say, if, maybe 18, hopefully I feel like we want to keep her close till she's 22, but, but the average American kid leaves the house at 18, and we'll see how all that works. My wife's like, no way. She'll go to college and live at home, Another thing about I know this is going to sound crazy, but when you provide a lot too, your kids won't want to leave if you have a really, 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 really amazing lifestyle, man. They'll want to be like, dang, my daddy's got it all. Like, why would I, I still want to hang out around my daddy, I got a dad that takes care of everything, right? But so, and you can hear the insecurity in my voice. They're like, I hope my girls stay around. But I'm already seeing that my kids are growing up. My whole point is I can see the next 10 years go by so fast, man. And I'm lucky. I have a 2-year-old. She just turned 2. So I have about 16 more years. And I'm 43. So until I'm about 60 years old, I'll be 60 years old. She'll be 20. It's kind of scary, right? She'll be running circles around me. Man, they're chopping it around today, bro. Boy. It is the 1 minute, but it's Friday with uncertain details out here. And just a lot of chop. Let's look into the world markets. I have a pretty good world market. It kind of gives me a look at what's happening to the market. Kind of help you guys out with why we're at where we're at and what's happening, right? But, Bitcoin's under pressure from fresh ETF outflows, rising treasury yields, and strong jobs data that reduce near-term rate cut hopes. Geopolitical flare-ups around Hormuz and the new tariffs add to the risk-off backdrop. Even as price holds 65 and a larger call cluster sits overhead. And we lost 65, right? So, that's you know what I mean? Because that happened as it came in earlier, but... And jobless claims plunged to 187, far below forecast, right? So that's the 10-year usually hits multi-month highs. Global tariffs expired today. S&P Global Flash PMIs do focus on growth and price. Fed holds expected next week. War signals caution on inflation. It doesn't look like we're going to get any, rate cut. It's just not happening. And that Fed Watch CME, it's just... And we have it next week. It's crazy. On the 29th, right? So Wednesday, the 29th comes in. They're leaning more. There could be a rate hike than a rate cut. And that's just that's a fact of the narrative. Clarity Act coming in too, and we have there's a little clarity that was going to pass. You know, no pun intended, but it was looking a little better than before. Hey, this looks like cat ears. You see it? Like it's not responding. And believe me, I've been through these so many times. Every day I do this. The dump and the pump and the up and the down and the back and the forth. Every single day I do this. Pretty cool. There's a support of resistance that's kicking in. And I learned that it's so volatile in this zone that I wait for the 200. 5 second did play out like nice little midi pump there, but it wasn't amazing. Okay, high or low, that's all right. What we can do now here is flip the script a bit. You're like, Sam, you're changing the pattern every second because the earth is moving, man. No, it's not. It's an airplane. Get it? They should have called it an air round, you know. I'm just joking. For entertainment purposes only. There are some questions that I have to be answered. Like, not everything makes perfect sense. I don't have all the answers, though. I will tell you something, like, you know, every single night throughout the summer, I looked out, and my house has 2 roofs. One that goes this and one over here, you know what I mean? And there's this, like, V in the middle. So they're actually closer. And the Big Dipper was here, here, and here, and then the big, you know, and I would see it every night for the last, and now the Big Dipper's gone lower. Like, I can't really see it. There's a tree here now, and so, like, if the earth was flat, like, why is the Big Dipper moving further behind? You know, it's not where it was when I first got here. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that makes me wonder, like, so, like, aren't we rotating then? Like, but if we're moving at 67,000 miles a minute and the stars are moving with us, like, how the heck did the stars stay in the same place every night? Because for months it was, for like 2 months, it was in the exact same place. I got a lot of questions, man, and I'm still looking for answers. And certain things don't make sense to me. Certain things make perfect sense to me. I spend so much time on Bitcoin, I don't have much time up for it. But what I will tell you is that the Big Dipper did move. And that's a fact, because I looked at it every single night for 50 to 60 days straight. And in the last 5 days, I can't see it anymore. So something has changed. You know what I mean? Something has rotated. Something has changed. 37%. Yeah. More will be revealed for sure. Amen. Yeah. One thing that doesn't make sense is parkways you drive and driveways you park. Yeah, I know. I didn't even have to read your comment. It's all there. What about you're on a boat, but you're in a car? But you're never in a boat. You're on a train. You're not in the train, you're on the train. You're not on the car, you're in the car. Right? You're not on a plane, you're in a plane. You're not in a boat, you're on a boat. He's in the boat. I guess you can be in the boat. I'm in a boat. But mainly you're on a boat. You're never on a car, though. You know what I'm saying? You're never on a car. But you're always on a boat. You're never in a... You could be on or in a plane, but you can't be on or in a car. You can't be on a car, but you can be in a plane. You can be on a plane. It's weird, right? I know. Wow, look at this, man. Be careful today, bro. They're going to wreck so many people. Look at this. The price act, because the order book is thin, man. You're seeing it. It's a thin order book. Look how loopy-goopy it is. It's like spaghetti sauce over here, all over the place. 1111 over here. Make a wish, huh? Tell me something I don't know, huh? Yeah. They said by the dip, but it keeps dipping. I know, right? But that's what makes it awesome, isn't it? You're in a boat, but on a ship. You're funny. In a line, on a line, or in a plane. Yeah, it's like, I would not, could not, Sam. I would not, could not eat green eggs and ham. It doesn't make perfect sense to me either yet, yeah. When the dip becomes a dump, that's when the dump has a dip of the dump, yeah. But that's when you have to, you know. Yeah. One live for boat stream. Oh, they're coming all the time. Yo, when you want a boat stream today, let's do one. The internet doesn't seem too good whenever I do it. It's a bit spotty. And my kids are there. I don't want to put their faces online. That's the real reason. It's not reason. I want to do all this vlogging stuff and show my life, but I am a dad, and I'm telling you, 90% of the time, I'm with my kids. Like, I'm always with the kids. So because of that, we're getting into a symmetrical triangle here that could go either way yet again. Tightness on the board. Looking for the bounce since we made a beautiful double bottom. Provides a good base for continuation to the upside. Would you long here with a stop below here? I think it's very high risk. I flew planes professionally. We had to calculate fuel for our routes. Interesting. I have a telescope. I can tell you clearly that the moon, the sun, and other planets are around. So why would not me? God, a perfect designer, and he consistent. I mean, look at the orange. Like, look at all the fruits. Like, they're round, right? I don't know. I mean, a lot of things are, just like the micro of the charts, like the 1 minute looks like the weekly. It's almost like charts show you how creation was made. Isn't that interesting? Well, everything has a micro and macro. We go from the small to the big. If you look at cats and then you look at lions, like they're exactly I don't want to say exactly the same, but like they're so similar. One's just a small micro version of the other. One's just, very interesting times. Everyone can still hear me. We had a weird little, but everything seemed fine. Just want to make sure we're all good. Yeah. Operation Fishbowl. That doesn't even make common sense. A lot of round earth propaganda in this chat. See? I bet we have people from both sides. It's gotten that big at this point, which is kind of crazy. But what's the curvature of the earth? And someone without, some people's going to go, but isn't it, what is it, like 12 inches every 8 miles or something like that? It's 8 inches per square mile. Okay? So it's saying that every square mile, you're going to drop about 8 inches in vision. So if you look at something, 10 square miles away, it's going to be 80 inches below your vision, right? That's like what it's telling you. And the flat earthers are saying, but I look straight out and I can see things right there. That's like the argument you always hear. I don't know. It goes back and forth. I don't want to get into it. But anyway, at least we know that it's 8 inches per square mile. This means that for every mile of distance, the Earth's surface drops away from a straight tangent line by roughly 8 inches times the square of the distance in miles. The Earth is not a perfect sphere, but an oblate spheroid, meaning it is slightly flattened at the poles and bulges at the equator due to its rotation. So look, they just said to you that the Earth is not a sphere. It's kind of flatter near the poles and wider near the equator. You see? It's kind of like this. It's like a UFO, really. Like it's a little like orb. You know what I mean? Like we always thought it was this perfect globe. That's how they're always showing it. But even right there, it says it's just not it. It's not. And again, that is the internet, right? Like where did this information come from? But it's an oblate spheroid. Spheroid, right? Geodesy, the modern standard shape, has a flattening factor of approximately 1.29825. So it's flatter than people realize. It's not as round as people said it was. You see what I'm saying? Like it's not as round as you were told, but it's not as flat as the flat earthers think it is. So like, you know what I mean? It might be a combination of both. There might be a little bit of truth to something here and there, Wow, look at that, man. They're going to rip this puppy back to the upside. Did we get any liquidity above us? And they're still keeping it really red down there. But they could disappear. Those could be the longs winning. It happens like 1% of the time this actually wins. The glob doesn't get taken out. We'll see. I mean, the 30-second is above the 200 moving average. And now you're looking for the model on the 30-second. What is that? That's consolidating above the 200 with the 21. You get this, we get another move, right? And the world keeps moving, baby. And we get our pump here. Yeah, Bitcoin falls 64. A surging U.S. bond yields boost Fed rate hikes. That's just all it was. And again, these are great headlines to move liquidity. It gets a bunch of people to do a bunch of things. Hedge funds. And it's really just I want to say it's a poke joke. Like they just want to get you to do something. The poke means they emotionally get you to read an article and believe that data is going to provide movement for the next few weeks, but it's really just data they're going to use to jerk the market around. They're going to come back with some other data 2 weeks later to reverse the situation. It's just like very wary of the way price action moves. Look, I'm using the 30-second because that's how I track these guys, or however this market works. Maybe it's not a group, maybe it's just the market, but it seems consistently done a lot in the same mannerisms over and over again. Like altcoins, wow, Tower actually getting a little bit, 25%, Firo, XRD, Beam. A little bit of movement in the altcoins, as you can see. Not amazing, but a little bit of movement. Wow, look at that, dump back down. Let's take a look at ETH, BTC, just while we're kind of watching this insane chopulation here. Shout out to any live streamer that's going live throughout the day today. Have fun, man. It's tough out here. It's like this market is a brutal beatdown market. So we never remember, the last time I looked at it was looking for this 1 hour flag. It did not move out. And I haven't looked at Ethereum since. And this flag here that we did get a nice breakout from. We're technically still high on the level and we're in that trend, but it's following whatever Bitcoin does. It's almost easier to believe that ETH could break down. It looks a little more like a higher, looks a little more like a bear flag, right? Sweep these lows one more time, like get real max pain here. I feel like this was the low. You took so much liquidity out and it took so much volume to get down there. But we'll see that we got to get a wick back. It's just like Bitcoin. We got to wick back into position here. This has to be just some type of headline that creates, bearishness for the day, but we pop back up. One thing though, look, shoulder, head, right shoulder there, not. You got to say that the trend line technically is broken. You can't keep opening trend lines. That will get you. I did that in my beginners that, oh no, it's over. No. And then I would keep trades open too long. Now I'm strict about my trend lines, and when they break, I cut the trade off. You see what I'm saying? It's like, boom. It's a really definitive way to trade. I'm not allowing it. I'm like, no. Trend line's broken them out. They get back in the trend line, I can get back in the trade. You see? Then I'm back in the safe zone. I do that. I've done that a lot, and it's not revenge trading. It's not flip-flopping. It's probability's not there. Back in, probability's there. Nice little pump of the 1 minute here. Good volatility. Week showing these numbers moving fast. Getting closer and closer to that 1 minute 200. It said 11:15. We didn't get there yet. Remember when I did the math? When I took this side and put this side? Seems like years ago, doesn't it? No, we did that 20 minutes ago. I mean, it's kind of weird. You're almost in the same, very similar style trade pattern that the daily's in. The daily looks like this, right? Let's get that move up to the 200. Can the 30-second keep above the 200 moving average? This is where the 30-second matters here, because if it can hang on above the 200, it tells you that there's a chance you can get to the 1 minute, and then things can quote unquote what's called resolve themselves here for the bulls. Otherwise, comes back down, you're in slop again. Doesn't happen. The odds of the 200 on the 1 minute don't happen, and you're gonna, and this looks like you're going to be in some chop throughout most of the day. It doesn't look like we're going to be too hot to trot here. I could be wrong. Let me jump back into the chat. I haven't looked at the chat in a while. Oh, this was yesterday, Yellow 54. Shout out to my man, Conquistador Offshore, for hitting that. That's amazing. I'm always amazed by all that stuff, like the random act of how it all works out. Queen Isabella of El Caso, who said Columbus absolutely knew the Earth was round. In fact, every single advisor, scholar, and royal official at her court was fully aware the planet was a sphere. 259 ain't even rookie numbers, guys. Got it. Yeah, 259 likes is crazy. Queen Isabella knew nothing, said Zombo Matt. You're funny. Don't force it. Why don't we have a live cam of the Earth running? That should be simple. That's in the largest portion of helium in the world. Funny. Sammy, how are you streaming in the summer? Sammy, you are still streaming in the summer. You are YouTube. Thank you. Look how much tax revenue is coming from prediction markets. Amazing, right? I think prediction markets is, I don't know, whatever. It's almost like if you say anything, too. It's like, you know. Toroidal sphere with a plane of inertia. I think he's spot on. Something going on. Something that we don't even understand. Yeah. Everyone just look up Admiral Richard Byrd. Who knows? But I'm pretty convinced we live underneath the firmament. I found out when I go back to the other side. Shout out to Andreo. God bless you, bro. And whatever anyone's belief system is in here, it would be hard to change it for the, you know what I mean? They open-minded to listen, but every transaction is exactly like that. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy, right? In Chicago, makes no sense. Intelligent people don't insult people they disagree with, only insecure people. Yeah, 100%. No need to insult anybody. Today is fine. How y'all doing? Today's a good day, man. Everything going so okay so far. NASDAQ had a little bounce. Looks like it could actually continue. About to hit the model on the nasty Nas. It's looking closer than Bitcoin for the reversal. It was a scare headline, man. Oh, yields got everybody freaked out. Let's just obliterate all the longs, recapture the liquidity. Looks like the NASDAQ's about to bounce. Somewhere back to 28,828. Sphere around, line coming through. And you see the dab. My house sells in 20 days. I'm so blessed. God bless you, Crypto Taco Man. You deserve it, bro. You put it on the market, you got it ready, and you did the things you had to do to make it happen, man. You made it happen, brother. You're in control. You put all the things in a line. I mean, you know. You also pay closing fees, man. You know, it's nothing is cheap in this world. You pay for everything, every transaction they got you on. Heck, you pay when you die, man. Like a death. There might as well be a death tax. I think there is. Sammy reads fast comments like that guy from the Water Boy. Hey, I got you, buddy. Sphere around, yeah, holidays. NASA, Massachusetts. They make money disappear. I've been tagging you on some big cubic news the last few days on X. Thank you. What's the difference between insult and criticism? Your mind. Interpretation of it. Hey. NASDAQ looks like I like that. Usually I might take that sometimes. 21 isn't above the 200, but the pump looks likely there. You know, not if you use a family trust, no death tax. Thank you. Yeah, you got to put it in, not an irrevocable, something like a spendthrift trust or something. There's all different. I've been reading about so many different things out here. The spendthrift. I think I'm saying it right. I think that's why they call that spindrift. They were like playing games, like, you know, they knew what the, you know, it's something funny there. Very tight price action here on the 30-second. Why the 30-second? That's just how I build it. That's how it goes. Just telling you, you could even trade the 30-second and probably make some money here. 64,500 coming, 64,448. Let's get it. We made a nice double bottom base. You gotta plug the bleeding, but you gotta stop it. All right. How often do you trade against what Bookmap says? I don't know if I really traded against it. I mean, that liquidity was there all day, and we went down towards it, starting to thin out a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if we get red back up here. It flips. You see, Bitcoin's been okay, man. It's got to have a little downside to get upside, right? Not if you use a family. No, are you enjoying the stream? That's what you drink. No, I know what he's saying. Who sent Columbus? He was time traveling or something? What do you mean? How could George Washington send Columbus? All right. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you. All right. If you're hanging out with me and you want to trade where I trade, you can hit the link right here, the pinned comment, and trade on weeks. You go to cryptolifer.com. Like this morning, you would have got insight into exactly kind of where the market, I nailed it with a circle where the price was going and hit that exact circle. You know, whatever. I'm not, someone put a thumbs down. I don't know why, it traded exactly as it was supposed to. This guy Rems loves me, apparently. God bless you, Rems. Hope you're having a good time, man. My life is going so well, I could never let a thumbs down hurt my feelings or so, It's kind of crazy, though, but God bless you, man. Yeah. Appreciate it. Bitcoin falls under 64K as surging U.S. bond yields boost Fed rate hike odds. Man, the story is so perfectly read, right? And that's at the end of the day, the shorts will get wrecked. Do not trade that news. You'll trade news. You'll get rocked. You got to trade the charts. Show me the charts and I will show you the news, folks. Show me the charts and I will show you the news. Hands down. That's just what it is. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. All right? Exactly. Shout out to Jamie Manzino. God bless you, man. Hope everything's going well with you and yours. It's been too long. We got to get on a live and chat. It just feels like time flies so fast. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to my whole team. Shout out to everybody here on the live. I appreciate you all for being absolutely amazing human beings and awesome. This is a tough time to be in the market. It's a tough time to pay attention. But if you do it and you create that discipline in life, you're going to be amazing. You're going to be amazing. I'm telling you right now. Shout out to my awesome viewership and my awesome followers in my community. You guys are unbelievable. 839 beautiful souls here. 280 likes. Let's get the likes up to the watchers, though. I think people more laid back in the summertime. Just the likes don't want to. They don't want to. They forget. I've been on a live stream and I forgot the like before of someone that I really liked. I was just watching their content so much. I didn't want to, you know what I mean? I wasn't, I might have been trading to do my thing. But if you could flip that window open, if you're listening to me, whatever you're doing, flip your phone to the side. I think you have to flip it vertical or something. Hit that like button, whatever you could do. But hit that like button. Let me know you're out there. I appreciate that. That's how we let the algorithm know we're alive, man. Our fingers got blood in them, man. And if you hurt your finger on the way down, it happens. Sometimes you're going to hit the like button like right there here. And you might just miss. There could be some oil that you slide and you could sprain your finger. I've seen it happen. They get a little sprain. It gets swollen there. We have some mini ice packs for your finger. If you're afraid, I get it. You might just be like, but what if I get hurt? Like I ruptured my Achilles. You might rupture your little mini like Achilles on your finger, I get it. You might be a little afraid to hit that like button. It's okay. We have people on standby to help you. All right. They can get you through this. Some things are a joke, okay? We don't have mini ice packs. Please don't call us asking for them. Very tight right now. 21-day moving average getting up there. This is what we look for. 1 minute time frame. And look how long this stuff takes. You got to patiently, and I wait for my model sometimes for 3-4 hours. Sometimes it comes in 1 hour. Sometimes it comes in 4. You know what I mean? The idea is that I know what I'm waiting for. I'm looking for what I have set, not what the market's telling me to have set. And that's the whole point of it all. Here we go, struggling and doubling. 1 hour time frame. Looking, are we getting anywhere here? Okay, somewhat of a green candle that could close. Technically along here with a front run. One of them is eventually going to pay. That one paid, remember we actually did long this and it played out. It was a cup and handle right here. Look, I drew it last night. I said, man, this is a cup and handle. I said, this thing looks like it's about to break out and pump up to 65.6. I'm down. I drew the cup and handle last night. I gave it to the group. I said, cup and handle, man. And the next thing you know, it pumped hard, too. Like, it's just that little cup and handle. Little mini cup and handy there. Within, I posted that. What time was it at? 11:02. 7 minutes later, the thing is, boom. It's crazy. No thumbs down there, no laughter there. Right? You know, it's so funny. Like, people are funny, bro. They'll take shots at you, and a person that will take shots at you, and as long as you haven't insulted them or done anything mean to them, is someone that's going to take shots at themselves. You know, how someone treats you is a direct representation of how they treat themselves. So if the next time you're somewhere and someone cuts you off and gives you the finger, person's giving themselves the finger, they're not giving you the finger, man. You know, if you think the negativity is on you, it's on you. You know, if you're a positive person, a negative person doesn't really, I'm not going to be, everyone, I don't want to be rude. You're not better than them. It's like, I don't want, but their frequency doesn't exist to you. Doesn't really like you're here for joy, light, love, and happiness and to spread God's love. Like, you can't interact with like road rage in the, you know what I mean? You know what I do a lot? Like, someone rides on my bumper a lot. I just, even though I'm not taking a ride, I just put my blinker on and I turn into the right. I make a U-turn in the parking lot and I get back on the road. And I say, I just got rid of that person. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't need that, you know, I just like, and I don't do it with like aggressively. I don't wave at them. They don't even know. They think I'm just taking a right turn. They have no idea. But I get rid of them. They go on their merry way. Happens a lot here on the island. The roads are small. And when someone wants to get somewhere, they want to go like 10 miles over the speed limit. The speed limit is 45 here everywhere. You can't go more than 45. That's it. And they'll ride my bumper. And they'll ride my bumper. I'm like in a nice country road. Like, I was riding my bumper, bro. And there's no one on the road for days. Like, we're the only ones out there. So I just pull over I just pull over. My dad used to do it. He taught me that. He used to just let them go, man. You don't need the energy, man. Just get rid of that juju. Okay, let's get this sauce moving. And what this tells me is I may get my model in 2 hours. Nice reversal. Let's take a look at the nasty NASDAQ. It's getting the model now. Now it's on the 21 above the 200. This tells me that the nasty NASDAQ should get that pump back to the upside. Think about it. Bitcoin is still the supreme asset. Institutions are buying the bottom. ETF inflows were good this week. You can't dump on they're going to create this risk on asset, but then they're going to print money to zero. So here's the dilemma that we're in now. Before they were printed money, the money circulation was okay. And then they could cut the rates. And if the money increases so much, the Fed's going to have less and less power to do anything against inflation. You can't keep increasing the money supply and think that lowering the interest rate or even doing quantitative easing or even buying and selling securities is going to help in extending the balance sheet of the Fed. You have to understand, over time, this will overtake. And every year that this gets bigger, like we printed like 90% of the supply in the last 5 years or something. Like it went from here to there. So it took you an entire, 1910, 1920 to do all this. And then in 5 years, you do everything. So this is what it looks like. This is us. And then 2020 to 2026. Like, it's actually worse. It's more like this is 2020 to 2026. And this is the money printing chart. This was like 80 years of money printing. And then in 5 years, you did more than 80. It's like crazy. And it's going to get worse and worse. That's why I'm telling you right now, Bitcoin's going to come through. They're going to make it look distressed. They're going to do everything they can because they have some power over the ins and outs of the market. But I'm telling you, after 4 to 5 years, everything they do gets broken by the reality that the money is getting, the strongest catalyst of any catalyst is the fact that the dollar will continue to go up. The supply. They will continue to extend that supply. I'm telling you right now, AI needs more money. Money, more circulation. The dollar has to circulate more around the world. More stable coins issued. More money, more money. Stable coins can add to dollar inflation in a way. I've never really said that. I don't want to talk about it, but it's like, man, you keep pumping out stable coins and no one really knows like the backing, and they say it is, but it isn't. And everyone comes out with their own. You have Open USD now. And then there's a battle for which stable coin is the best. And this one's the one we want. This one is that. That one's this. You know what I mean? That's about an Adam and Eve right there. See it? We're watching the NASDAQ. Bitcoin too. Same thing. Is they're going to pump together. So you watch them kind of together, right? Lamborghini, the man behind the legend. I never saw that movie. You ever see it? Seems like I gotta watch it. Find out everything I can about the beautiful car. Interesting looking cars. You know what I mean? Definitely like RoboCop vibes. Like, you get in there, you feel like you're like doing something. Like, I can't, like Iron Man or something, It's got this red button, you hit it, like Tony Stark or something. And I would just wait patiently until I see my model. I've learned my lesson, man. It took years to get this discipline, though. I used to have to trade no matter what I said. Oh, I'm going to wait for my model. I'm going to do it anyway. You guys saw me on the live. I'm going to wait for my model. I'm in now. But Sam, you said you're going to wait for your model. Yeah, but I'm in, this time I'm going to, Now I'm just going to wait for the model, man. NASDAQ looked good. NASDAQ's actually in an entry right now. It's saying, hey, if you get in by my years of doing this, it's saying you should get paid on a little bit of a scalp here. Bang. And they're going to flatten these shorts of the NASDAQ. Still thick red down there, but you can see, look, it's got a little yellow now. It's not as dark red. You can see there's liquidity here and here too. We got liquidity. Look at that. 62.8. It's around. NASDAQ getting the pump that we're looking for. Okay, you could trade the same way, 21,200. Nothing changes here. Assets, asset changes. This is the 30-second, same thing, 21,200. You got to understand time frame. See, what I understand, what other people see is like, well, look how we switch it for the 30, all these different time frames. See, I understand the movement of moving averages through time frames. That's another true skill that I can teach you. That's like not really something you can put in a bottle. It's not like the 21 and the 200. It's more of a moving behavior. This is something I can't really teach you unless you kind of trade with me. You got to watch my setups throughout the night. You got to watch my updates in the morning. You got to see how they connect. You got to have to kind of work with me and be around how I mold. It's almost like, you ever watch someone work with pottery and the wheel works and they move their hands, and like, if I just showed you the finished product and said, yeah, like you do this and that. It's kind of like showing you guys like a trading style and showing, yeah, I buy when this, But to be here with me is like watching me mold the clay in my hands. It's like watching me find out what I'm finding out while you're there. And that's the beauty of the show. That's why I want this show to stand out unique to any other show in the entire YouTube trading space. And the vulnerabilities of what it's like to battle your mind every day. And to go and to do something for 2,000 days straight without a day off. To persevere for 5 years. I've done this 5 years now. Since April of 2020, April 26th of 2021. No days off, folks. And why? They say, why would you do that? You're insane. There's no need. Like what? And it's, why? I have this undying commitment to myself and to what I believe in. That's it. And if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. This is my business. I love it. I put my heart and soul into my business. And every single thing I have into my business. The universe will bless the person that puts every single thing they have into what they believe in. It's happened to me, so it will keep happening. But it opens up every once in a while. It's almost like you get these spurts of opportunity that just come randomly. Sometimes once every 5, once every 4. If you're not grinding, if you're not hard, if you're not in the position, it disappears. It disappears. It disappears, and it could disappear faster than you realize, man. I know. Like I lived a life where I had opportunities right there, and I didn't take them when I should have. And I learned my lesson as a 43-year-old man. So hear me out. I mean, that Eminem song, as cliche as it is, man, you only get one shot, your movement, your moment, You better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow, because opportunity comes once in a lifetime. It's sad because you can miss a shot. You can miss an opportunity. You can always make a new one, though. And you're in control. Remember that. You are in control. It's not over because you made a mistake. You can build a new reality where you win again. It may not be the same way, though. that opportunity, but don't, you can't focus on what was. You got to build what is. Oh, one last thing I wanted to say that I forgot, but look at your life. You're a man or a woman standing in a field. Hopefully it's a well-manicured field, but not a lot of ticks, okay? And you got like 10 acres of land. You got to dig up stones, and you got to build in the middle a house to live in. Look at your life like this life. This is from the top, right? You're looking at the roof. And anyway, whatever. This is a stone building. You got to build like a one-bedroom stone home to live in. My YouTube channel is this one-bedroom stone home. Every day I put a block on it. I don't stare at my neighbor's building. I ask my neighbors what they're doing. I might learn from them. There might be strategies I can, but I only talk to people when to spread knowledge and be happy, and for them to gain, to learn from each other. You know what I mean? Not to badger, my whole point is you don't spend time staring or hating. Spend time loving, creating, and sharing. What in your life is where's the stone house you're building? And what this does is every day I wake up and I can see out my window, or I can see out the makeshift tent that I've made. And I can see where I am. I have a little makeshift tent on the property as I'm building. And I can see where I am in my stone house. And every morning I get excited. Oh, how many stones can I add today? What fixtures will I build? And I'm so locked into my vision and creating something that, like, the world goes up and down, straight or her muse, Trump, this, that, all this other stuff happens, right? Friends come and go, people backstab me, less viewers, more viewers, less money, more money, big trades, small trades, losses, wins. I'm so focused on this little building I'm making, man, or a build, and every day I'm putting a couple stones on the wall, man. Nothing is stopping me from building. That's why I don't take a day off on this channel. And that's why you shouldn't take a day off on what your dreams are and what you believe in. Don't let the world get you distracted from your dreams and from what you're going for. They're going to want to take your vision away. They're going to want to make you, part of what they want you part of. Whoever they is. But the communists, the genius that be, even the other, all parties want you part of their party. Part of their brainwash system, Be independent, be beautiful, be full of love. Do not let the dark side win. There's an evil force out here that lives out here among us. Watch your family, be very careful, be vigilant. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't know. There's evil that you couldn't believe. And I'm sorry to scare you, but that's the facts. That's why you cherish the good people in your life. Cherish God-feeling people that do the right thing just because. Someone that knows God's watching. Someone that laughs when you say God's watching. Be careful, man. They're like, oh, that person believes in God. I can manipulate them. How cute. Anyway, people could, even if you believe that, that's fine. You can have your belief. I'm open. I'm even okay with that because I refuse to have a negative thought take my frequency low. My frequency must stay high no matter what. Once I learned that my frequency and any human being's frequency is the most important thing that they can hold, I learned that the key to life. You don't get mad when you get cut off. You don't yell at someone when they yell at you. You're not rude because you have a chance to be rude. You could ignore negativity, man, and you can always reward positivity. And really, that's the only way to live, I find. Like, defend yourself when you have to. Don't let anyone into your personal space, 100%. Facts, you know what I mean? I want to go that far with it, but, like, again, there's going to be a time where, as nice as you are, you may have to defend your. I get that. But for the most part, everyone's like, what are we talking about, Sam? Why are we talking? I don't know. I'm just going over life in general, man. As we're waiting for this Bitcoin bounce, previous resistance is support here on the 1 minute time frame. Low stochastics, looking for the love, a little bit of hidden bullish divergence. As we're swinging down on the RSI, but up on price action, it does tell you should break this high before you break this low. Let's see if it plays out. Kind of fun, a little hidden bully here on the 1 minute time frame. Can you get a move back to 64.554 on the move? I'm not taking this trade. It's just a nice little setup that I'm watching. I would take the break above the 200 moving average. That's something I'm looking for. Hey, you looked at the S&P? Yes, I did. Yeah. Gird your loins, man. Yep. Amen, brother. Amen. Wow, Gwei pumped hard. That's crazy. Yeah, it was a tractor factory. Yep. Sam, see you working a molded clay. That's why the show is unique. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, I plan to be so transparent here that you see all the ups and downs as a trader. That's amazing. Yeah. Bitcoin kind of did follow in the model. I mean, it got pumped and dumped a bit, but it did. It hit that 21 and it ripped, man. It's crazy. I was looking for it to rip. The timing, they got me off on the timing on that one. I found whenever I make a big move, I've learned it's always good for me not, actually when I travel, it's good. But whenever I'm like moving from one big, for a long period of time, like I'm making this in a couple of days, I'll be packing up. I get so much in my mind. I got to go, if I see it, I'll take it no matter what, because I got to trade the market. But I tend to just be, to play it cool. Still inside that trade on the weekly. They didn't get me, even though I put the stop loss to break even. Back up 460. There's a chance we win this puppy and we get the low was taken. Only time will tell, man. All right. Dexy was amazing. I called it at 320. It went all the way to 50, and I think it got some type of exploit. Yeah. It's interesting, damn, look at that. It's the rejection by the 200. You got to get back above that. If you're going to get a reversal on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, you got to get back above the 200 on the 1 minute. So crucial. Very big deal. Funny, I plan on leaving early today so I can do my update. Never happens. 11:30 is like, yeah, I'll get out of here soon. Never happens. I'm like, eh. Yeah, the liquidity was darker red. It still is down there at 63.5. You know what I mean? Here's a quick timeline of what happened to DEXY, okay? June 19th, parabolic rally. After a new exchange listing and short squeeze, DEXY exploded from low single digits to an all-time high of 48.89 on July 13th. Kind of crazy, right? July 20 to 21st, 26, absolute bloodbath. The token plunged 80% in roughly 24 hours, free falling from the mid-30s, 40s down to $4 or $5. The main trigger was a large on-chain transfer from wallets linked to the project team. On July 21st, wallets believed to be associated with the DEXY team moved 620 DEXY, worth $6.2 million at the time, to Binance. Those tokens were then sold into the market. That single move sparked immediate panic because the price had just gone parabolic on thin liquidity and heavy leverage. The selling triggered a cascade of long liquidations. Funding rates flipped deeply negative, and the order books got wiped out in successive 20% hourly dumps. No hack, no exploit, no official delisting, no negative project announcement has been confirmed. Looks like a classic distribution team link dump after a massive FOMO run, not a protocol failure. Rug pull accusation exploded across Twitter and X, but there's no public evidence the team fully abandoned the project or drained liquidity pools. Just very large holders, including alleged team wallets, exiting hard. In short, hey, they probably got paid in the token. They probably never took their money. They were working on the project for years, and they said, hey, or maybe someone quit, or someone was about to quit, and they took their money and they sold, man. Been profitable for 7 months. Tried to size up over the past 2 months. Gave all my profit back. Thoughts? You sized up too fast. Size up in demo trading. Just because you're good at trading doesn't mean you don't need demo trading. You see? Look, I dabble on these bigger trades. Like I want to trade the monthly and the weekly, so I make these $5,000 for $50,000 trades after I've already made $4,000. So if I lose, I'm only down $1,000. You know what I mean? And it might take 2 months. So it's like, and you're like, that's boring, but that's how I do it. Like, and that's one account, so I learn from that account. Now, while I'm doing all that, I can scalp and trade, and I can have weekly trades open or a monthly trade open. So you sized up too fast. That's all. That's okay. You actually came to the next step. Like you went from the minor to the major leagues, and you found out what happened. You learned how quickly things can go away. You also got away from the way you got to the beginning. You sized up in the last 7 months. You must have been using proper risk management. You must have made your position sizes way bigger than you did the last time. And I caught up with you, man. I caught up with you too hard. So, yeah. Do you ever get a phone the members to give advice? You know, a lot of people do this upsell, you know, pay an extra $300 to call me any day. And I find it like, you know, I do a really intimate weekly screen share once a week, which I haven't been doing because I have, like, right now, my good friend that I haven't seen. So we met when we were 12. We see each other once a year. And then there was a couple years where we barely saw each other at all. You know what I mean? When I was in New York. And we've since reconnected. He's hanging out with he just had a son. And, you know, his baby's here. And, like, last night we were all hanging out. I'm going to go downstairs and, like, be antisocial for 2 hours. So Thursday night, every night someone's been around on my Thursday night screen share. They say I'm going to do it in the morning, but then I do the morning update. Then I do the weekend updates. And then I'm live all weekend long. I'm still taking a lot of time away from my friends and family as it is to be in the Discord and to do what I do. Last night when everyone was chilling, I said I got to go downstairs and work. And if I don't work, man, I don't provide. If I don't provide, I don't help people. I got to be in that Discord a lot of my time. So I treat this like a degree. You don't make money until you graduate. It takes time. It takes time. It takes time. It's a choppy day, man. You can see, look, we're back in this again. And it's just like, we just keep extending the what if factor of where we could go. I'm going to jump on out of here. I got to make more content for the day. I also have a bunch of people I got to help, and I got a bunch of stuff I got to do. So, okay. I'm jumping out for the day. Be careful. I don't like what I'm seeing on the bigger time frames for Bitcoin. We got to get back above some key levels. To me, specifically, like 65,000, but 65K is holding now. This is turning into a symmetrical triangle. If you don't hear from me, you know, this is likely going down. I have to be honest, but it got some cup and handle vibes. There's a chance it could be a higher low. Get above the 200, get the 21 a touch, show me a flag, and I'll take along. All right. I haven't learned my lesson. Trade big to win, risk little. I'm going to get YOLO size big later. Yeah. Thanks for it. It's tough to find help from like-minded people. God bless. Anytime, man. What I do is if you email me, and I every once in a while I do a free one-on-one with somebody and get their spirits up, get them going, and it helps me, you know, help someone believe in themselves. Sometimes just hearing me, having an hour with me, because I'm like, you know, the exclusive lifer, and I know my life is busy. It makes them feel important, and it is. I don't do it all the time, so if I made time for you, it is important, and it helps people out, and so, you know, that's always something that we do. Thanks for the live, or have a good day. God bless everybody here on the live. Have a beautiful Friday with your family. Looks like there could be some money to be made here. We did get a beautiful bounce out this double bottom that we found at 63.7. It's only been $400 though. You had to have been $63,700 just to make $400. Remember, don't beat yourself up about a move. Realistically, look how big the trade had to be and how much risk you had to be at that moment. Sometimes it's always not perfect. This guy said 3 years of the 99, still learning and trading better all the time. Thank you. God bless you, man. And thank you for being loyal to the trading group, man. That's amazing. Like, unbelievable. I hope I provide so much for you. And forgive me for the calls that don't play out, man. I do the best I can every day. It hasn't been easy. Maybe I'll shoot my shot one day. Thanks for the opportunity, as always. 100%. Stay free, baby. Shout out to West Salvador. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Anyway, I'm going to jump on out of here for the day, everyone. I see a battle here. NASDAQ still looks like it could do damage. No reason to give up on this NASDAQ trade. It actually looks even better than before now. The more it consolidates, the more likely it's going to pump. That's what I will leave you with. And that thing is looking nice. Send it, baby. Send it. Send it. Valhalla. Send the bulls to Valhalla. I won't say it yet. I don't want to ruin it. Yeah. But send it up, baby. Look, that's a double bottom in there, too. It's a long right there on the NASDAQ. You're in the money now. The entry is 28,508. Sammy, I love you, bro, huh? No homo. God bless you, man. You too, bro. I'm going to go to the gym every day when I get home. There's a gym right next to me. I'm going to get, I promised myself by Christmas, September, October, November, December. By Christmas, man. By Christmas, I'm going to look different. I'm going to look noticeably bigger and noticeably stronger and noticeably on point, man. I got injured and I didn't do my workouts like I used to. I didn't. I was hurt. And I got depressed a little bit. I went through a lot the last 6 months, everyone, with my ruptured Achilles. I used everything I could to show up every day on my live stream and to make my trades work and to keep the group going. It took everything out of me. I'm back now more than ever. I can walk more, I'm so grateful. But I was in bed at night on painkillers. They cut me open, you know what I mean? I had a vicious surgery. I had to recover from them cutting open my tendons and my muscles and my tissue, man, at least all my tissue. And dang, man, I have a nasty scar. My leg is still massive swollen at times. It's getting better every day, though. And I'm making it work, man. I never complained. I'm with you, Sam. I lost 40 pounds. I'm so disappointed. We all got to get back and pump iron, man. We got to pump. As men, we got to pump iron. You feel better when you pump some iron. I don't know why. No offense to the skinny guys out there, but you just feel better when you pump some iron. You got to throw some weight around, man. And they got the machines. You don't have to use free weights. Machines are good, man. Nothing wrong with the machine. Helps you from hurting yourself, overextending. Anyway, I love you all. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much. And for the ladies, too, get some strength. It's okay. Strength training is good for everybody. And when you're older, you're going to have more muscles that support. Less likely for you to get hurt. If you have osteoporosis, anything that can happen on the back end, those muscles can help you. So, you want to join you in USDT? I'll tell my wife, just email us. Email us at cryptolifers@gmail.com. Hit support, but also email us at cryptolifers@gmail.com. And again, before anyone tried a peptide, God's got huge and fat. My body responds peptide. I don't need peptides. I really don't. I did take BTC 157 under the tongue, mixed with the the TB500. I did because it was supposed to help, and I think I'll be honest, I bounced back pretty fast. If I didn't re-injure myself in Vegas, I think I would have been pretty good. Hey, what do you think about the hype? Shout out to Stack McChange. God bless you, brother. Could you make the intro beginning a bit shorter? No, thank you for telling me what to do, though, as my boss. Appreciate that. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you so much. I will see you all tomorrow. May God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much for hanging out with the Crypto Lifer and being a part of this live stream. Seeing us battle through this level. It looks like we're going to dump again, though. Doesn't look amazing, folks. I'll leave you with this one last thing. I mean, look, shoulder, head, right shoulder. Got rejected right there. 200 moving out. We can't get back above the 200. I'm not trading along. The trend will be, until we can even slightly reverse the trend, I'm not buying it. Trade with discipline. Trade with focus. Trade with proper risk management. Stay pocket squared up. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. God bless. Thank you so much. The secret to success is getting started.